Now, during this raid, the ATF found a single solvent trap that was not registered or serialized. And because of that one item, this individual, Mr. Peterson, was charged with violating the NFA and was charged criminally for possessing an illegal silencer. Mr. Peterson and his attorneys tried to get that whole charge thrown out using a motion to dismiss, and they argued that the NFA is unconstitutional under the Second Amendment. So they brought a Second Amendment challenge to the NFA and a Second Amendment challenge to that one charge of him possessing an illegal silencer. The district court denied that motion, finding that suppressors are not bearable arms protected by the Second Amendment at all. That decision by the district court is now up for appeal and review in the Fifth Circuit. According to Mr. Peterson, on June 29, 2022, both federal and state law enforcement officers executed warrants at his home in Louisiana. This was also the location of his business, which was a gun store, I believe, that he operated out of his home. The local sheriff also had a search warrant and an arrest warrant out for Mr. Peterson that they executed at the same time because he was delinquent on some taxes. There was a federal task force that included the ATF, the Louisiana State Police officers, I believe New Orleans Police Department as well, some of the local sheriffs. Now, when it came to the federal search warrant, here's where things get a little bit different based on what the ATF is claiming. According to the ATF in their brief, the ATF and local law enforcement went undercover and purchased various firearms and items for Mr. Peterson. The ATF claims as a result of those purchases, they found out that Mr. Peterson was not filing the appropriate forms. And then also there was a lot of issues with tracing items back to Mr. Peterson. They claimed that there were 70 firearms that were sold by his business that then were recovered at crime scenes. And then again, they traced those back to him. But here is where the crux of this case really started. During this search, the ATF found in his personal safe what they deemed to be an unlicensed and unregistered suppressor, and that was in his personal safe in his bedroom. Now, out of this whole interaction, there was only one charge brought against Mr. Peterson, and it was for possessing that one unregistered suppressor. Mr. Peterson's argument is that he purchased the solvent trap in the kit to convert it into a suppressor, potentially into a suppressor, but he had forgotten about that item that he had, and that he just simply forgot to file the forms. And then, of course, he was raided by the ATF and they found it. The district court ultimately did sentence Mr. Peterson, but now he is appealing up to the Fifth Circuit, and now it's up for review in the Fifth Circuit, essentially to determine whether or not the NFA is a violation of the Second Amendment and whether or not this charge against Mr. Peterson should have been dropped because the NFA is unconstitutional.